A 12-year-old victim of CSA sought help, but instead found herself in a nightmare. Taylor Cadle was accused of lying to police about being sexually abused. She tried to get help when her adoptive father, Henry Cadle, was sexually abusing her. But instead of seeing him in cuffs, Taylor, who was only 12 years old, 12, was charged with lying to authorities. One day after she'd gotten into a fight with her adoptive parents on the way to church, a minister's wife pulled her into the office to ask her what was going on because she looked like she was upset. Taylor opened up and the floodgates just crashed wide open. She told the minister's wife everything, and the police were called. It was here that she met Detective Melissa Turnage. Taylor told Detective Turnage in an interview that her adoptive father, Henry Cadle, had been sexually assaulting her for years. It had started when she was 9 years old. 9. And over time, the abuse got worse. Now he was doing it anytime he gets the chance, is what she said. She didn't like going with him on errands because it would happen then. He'd pull up on the side of the road, cut through somewhere. So when Detective Turnage spoke with him, with Henry, instead of asking him questions that would be normal in an interview, she just threw out a theory. Listen to this.
Has Taylor made any kind of like dramatic stories or anything like that?
Which one?
Well, I mean, like with over-the-top stuff, like, you know, something just totally false that just does it and you figured out.
I think Taylor inherited it, as you would say, from the two biological, because she can tell some whoppers.
Okay. All right. Basically, Taylor, I guess, has made up these allegations, okay, that you have been sexually abusing her.
Oh, whatever. No, absolutely not.
After speaking with Henry, Detective Turnage went back to speak with Taylor. And this is what she said.
What's going on, Taylor? Because you understand, if your dad goes to jail, he doesn't come back. At all. Okay? The accusation you're making, since you are 12 years old, and this has been going on since you were 9, he goes to jail. He doesn't come back at all. So that means you, your brother, and your mom don't have him at all. If you're mad because you got your phone taken away, let's say that now and be done with it. Because I have 3 stories that say you like to be with your dad, your daddy's little girl, you love to go with him because you like to get out of the house. But if it's not the truth, you're fixing to hurt a lot of people. A lot of people. Your mom's not going to have her car. Your dad's car is going to get taken. Your dad's not going to be able, the lawn business is gone. Your mom's going to have to deal with you and your brother going to school. School starts in 2 weeks in Polk County. 3. You're not going to be able to have your shoes that you want for school. What are those, the Roush Nike shoes? You're not going to be able to get braces. I hear you want braces or need braces. What is it, Taylor?
2 days after this meeting with Taylor, Detective Turnage filed an affidavit. But the crime was not the sexual abuse that Taylor had endured. It was that Taylor had given false information to a law enforcement officer, a first-degree misdemeanor. The victim, not Taylor. According to the paperwork, it was the Polk County Sheriff's Office. So now Taylor is scared and without guidance, and she just pleads guilty to get it over with. She feels like no one's going to believe me. She was afraid of being sent back to foster care. So she was sentenced to probation. Sure enough, Henry started right back up with the abuse, almost like he had more confidence now. Like he knew he'd never be stopped, he'd never be caught. Taylor knew that the only way that she was going to get any help is if she collected evidence. So one of the next times he assaulted her, she took photographs with her phone. Remember, she's 12. She photographed a condom box, his truck clock. She even snapped a picture of him as he was walking outside the truck. All of this to corroborate her story. This time, when she went to the authorities, she had proof of what Henry had done to her. When questioned, he still denied it, and here's what he said.
Would you be willing to take a polygraph?
No, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I've had sex with a lot of people in the shower with my eyes closed, if you know what I mean. I'm a man.
Okay, but daydreaming about it and answering questions in reference to the allegations are 2 totally different things.
Not really. No.
Okay.
He was sentenced to 17 years in prison for the sexual battery of a minor, and her charges were overturned, thank goodness. But her case is not an isolated one. There have been documented hundreds of similar cases across the country where victims went to authorities for help and found themselves arrested or charged with a crime instead of finally being kept safe. Child sexual abuse and exploitation is never going to end for as long as we treat victims like liars. There's been more and more comments popping up on my videos where people say things like this. Yeah, but was there proof? What if she was lying? I heard about this one story where this one girl lied, etc. Sure, does it happen sometimes? Yeah. Does it happen often? No. Usually when victims come forward and talk, especially when they're younger children, they're telling the truth. We've got to do better. If we claim to want to save children, protect children, it starts with believing them.